Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your man, the Crypto Connoisseur, back again with another video. So, Bafetu, while others are protesting outside, what's happening with the rest of the world? There's things, I wish I could say secrets of the world, but they're not secrets anymore. These are things that are happening right under our noses, and most of us are not watching, most of us are not paying attention, Bafetu. So, on this screen, I've got three faces, right? I've got on the left, I've got the lady that heads the ECB, that's the European Central Bank. She was the head of the IMF a couple of years ago. Her name is Christine Lagarde, right? On the center, we've got Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell runs the Federal Reserve of the United States. And on the right, we've got Janet Yellen. She is the Secretary of Treasury. Now, when you see these three faces on one screen on Bloomberg on a Friday, you must know that shit is hitting the fan. And I'll show you that shit is hitting the fan. Let's get out of the screen and let me show you what exactly is going on.
Live from New York, coming up on the programme, avoiding another weekend cliff edge. UBS agreeing to buy Credit Suisse. The Swiss government brokering a deal for more than 3 billion Swiss as officials worldwide race to restore confidence in the financial system. Lisa Abramowitz, have we created a monster or found a solution?
That's a great
monster.
question. Let's define the monster, right? On one hand, you've got the monsters of moral hazard, which it seems like this has been created. On the other hand, you have this question around, does it create more uncertainty at a time where people are wondering, is this it? The unknown right now in terms of the monster is whether we see ongoing accelerating panic in markets on the heels of what we saw over the weekend.
To be fair, quite clearly, Lisa, is who's next. Last weekend we're dealing with SVB and Signature Bank. This week we're dealing with Credit Suisse. Who's next weekend? 2 weekends running. We've been sitting here waiting for a last-minute solution going into the open of Asian trading. That's the problem.
You never want...
That's a big problem, Buffett. Banks are falling apart. And when banks are falling apart, the central banks, who's at the Reserve Bank, government is stepping in. These guys are stepping in to save these banks. They're not going to step in to save you, by the way. They're stepping in to save these banks that are collapsing. These banks, the managers of these banks took money and invested money elsewhere. It's almost like, let's say you've got a cousin, right? You've got a cousin that owes you money and promises you, I'll pay you by month end. Come month end, he comes with a story. He doesn't pay you, but you also have debit orders that need to run. Now, suddenly you don't have money to service your debit orders. If you don't have money to service your debit orders and debit orders bounces, it means you're affecting somebody else on the value chain. So that's exactly what's happening here. So these guys, the Reserve Bank has printed new money. They've got billions. They don't want to call it quantitative easing, but that's exactly where we are heading. They're printing new money to save these banks. They've saved 5 banks so far. And guess what's happening? Guess what's happening? Look at what Bitcoin, look at what real money is doing. Real money has gone up 28% this week. That's what we call Bitcoin. That's what we call a proper protest. People are protesting with their money, and they're putting money, taking money away from the euros, taking money away from the dollars, and they're putting them back into what they will call risk asset. But they are actually hedging. They're actually hedging against the currencies of the land. So Bitcoin has moved up 28%. I'm going to take you just quickly through the chart that we looked at a couple of weeks ago. Remember this chart that I showed you, the Bitcoin chart on the monthly, right? If you remember this chart, I kept saying we seem to be in a different channel when we're looking at the green lines. But the white lines still play a part. So the white lines have played a part. We've been hitting this resistance for almost 2.5 months now. I'm just going to move this to a weekly chart so that you see actually what has been happening. Look at that yellow box. So you look at that yellow box. This yellow box, every week we've been hitting this white line. And this white line is in conjunction with the 200-week moving average. We've been hitting this line, hitting this line, hitting this line. We eventually pushed through last week. Just when the banks are falling apart, we push through because people are taking their money and putting them into Bitcoin. You ask yourself, what are you going to do? We've pushed through what is the major resistance point, the 200 weekly moving average and the long-term resistance line, and now we are above it on a weekly chart. Yes, maybe on a monthly we might We are not sure if we'll close above it or close below it, but so far, Bitcoin is moving up. Guys, this is a sign. I don't think I need to show you beyond this. This is a sign. This is a sign for you to start layering in. Choose what you're going to invest in. Are you going to keep your money in your traditional rands, dollars, or are you going to put your money in something that can actually help you against inflation? Because that's what's coming. Bitcoin moves faster than inflation. Before inflation moves, Bitcoin moves first. So look at the chart where it is. Where were we a couple of weeks ago? We were just here around the 25,000 mark. Where are we now? Bitcoin is at the 28,000 mark. Let's just do a percentage analysis. So prices has moved up what? 12, 15%? About 13%. Bitcoin has moved up about 13%. Tell me what yield have you gotten out of your savings account in the past week? This is what Bitcoin is doing on the side. I was on TikTok yesterday, so I ran into somebody had gone live and they were punting some company that they are running, or they are a spokesperson for this company, maybe showing people other ways of making money, right? And I'm not against this person, but one thing that they said is, this is not Bitcoin, this is not cryptocurrency where people are getting scammed. And he said he doesn't understand Bitcoin and he doesn't want to understand it. And guys, that statement, it pierced through my ears, you know. And guys, you need to be at a stage where you understand what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is a lot of things in one. Bitcoin is hope. Bitcoin is you protesting against the incumbents, the current structures that give you nothing and take away everything. Guys, this is where the chart is. I'm not gonna allow this video to go too long. This is just where Bitcoin is. Currently, Bitcoin is at 28,000. I've been talking about Bitcoin at 2320. Bitcoin is moving up. I don't need to say much. You can see the evidence in the chart. Again, this is your man, the Crypto Connoisseur, back again with another video. Go do what's right. Itaraso.